Now, the Subway Final Word.
Sidney Crosby said repeatedly in the stretch and in the playoffs that he was not injured, but word now that Crosby's considering arthroscopic surgery in his right wrist. Maybe it's even beyond that. The Pens will have an official announcement maybe this week. Welcome back to the Subway Final Word. I'm Albie Oxenrider with Mark Madden, Rob Rossi, and Kevin Gorman. Tonight, topic 3, should hockey players and teams be more forthcoming about injury information? Rob, what do you think?
Well, look, I believe talking to players, pretty much every day for the last 9 years, that if it were up to them, they would be. But this is a decision that general managers authorize teams to make on their own. And the Penguins, at least under Ray Shero, had an upper body, lower body policy when it came to this. I do think it hurts a guy like Sidney Crosby when he's not allowed to address the injury in public during the playoffs when it might be affecting him. But the problem here with this particular injury is I've talked to a lot of teammates, I've talked to Crosby himself about this, and he doesn't believe that the wrist injury impacted him that much, which is why he was upset that it was sort of presented as though it was an excuse for his bad performance this year. He doesn't want to put the injury as an excuse for his performance.
Mark?
To echo what Rob just said, Sidney Crosby has to be upset that this leaked because it does smack of excuse making. Would I like to know the truth about all these injuries, especially during the season? Yeah, I would. But why do I need to know? Why do you need to know especially? What, are you a discerning consumer? You won't buy a ticket? You won't buy Crosby merch if you think he might need wrist surgery? That's ridiculous. To me, this is all a tempest in a teapot. Absolutely meaningless drivel.
Kevin?
Yes, and the reason that GMs don't want to reveal the nature of the injuries, they don't want to make that player a target for further injury. They don't want teams to attack that injury, which is, it justifies the failure to disclose. But I don't like that, like these guys have said, I don't like that people are making this to be something, well, maybe this explains why Sidney Crosby didn't perform up to his standards in the playoffs. Sidney Crosby has been a guy who now 5 years in a row, the Penguins have not won a Stanley Cup. He's supposed to be the best player in the game. I don't think there's many people out there that will argue that he is the best player in the game, but his team has not delivered. He didn't deliver in the playoffs. And now the general manager has been fired, the coach has been fired, and it's time for Sidney Crosby to deliver and time for the Penguins to stop making excuses for when he doesn't.
Well, let me say this real quick. The Penguins didn't put this story out, and I got to be clear about this. I talked to Sidney a couple days before the end of the season. I asked him repeatedly, are you hurt? This was his answer. I'm not dealing with anything that's causing me to play this way. And I really think that Sidney does not want it out there that he was hurt during the playoffs when he knows Bo Bennett, one of his teammates, was basically going to have reconstructive wrist surgery, and he was playing through it.
All right.
Albie, put the camera on me for a second.
Go ahead. You have 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Having trouble concealing a wrist injury? Better call Saul.
Just in the spirit of full disclosure, if I turn to the big board too quickly, I'm in danger of suffering an upper body injury, but you'd never know about it.
Lower body.
Or lower body. With this, it may be both. Back to the Bucks. How would you like to see a shutdown closer for the Pirates, and what would you be willing to give up to get one? Mara tells us the closer is not the whole team. Losing a big prospect to Houston Street is not the answer. We're going to debate that topic. The panel is ready to go when we come back on the Subway Final Word.